8 out of 10.
You skipped to the end.
You immediately got to it. So we just got back from seeing Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, we did it.
Who was like,
You're lying. We just got the next day.
The runtime on that movie.
it hadn't even been a full day yet, so technically it's more close to the time we saw it than the time that we.
The runtime on that.
Okay, so last night we got back from seeing Deadpool and Wolverine, so Deadpool 3. Yeah, it was good. I guess the whole short shtick of the entire thing. Well, no spoilers in this part. We'll let you know when spoilers. We'll give our spoiler-free review right here. So we'll go ahead and start a line right now. I know obviously Ethan is the most passionate about any Marvel stuff and comic book stuff. So if you want to go ahead and relay your knowledge and your thoughts on this movie without any spoilers.
All right. 8 out of 10.
We're running it back.
That shit was goddamn good, man. I will not go as far as to say Marvel's back, though.
Right.
And to be honest, it doesn't really solve anything either. It's just kind of a Deadpool adventure. And I really appreciate it for that. I'm really glad that they didn't try to fix everything wrong with the Marvel Universe, you know, what's going on right now. So, and I was really happy that, honestly, you don't really need to watch anything else to watch this movie. Maybe the end of the second Deadpool. But even then, it's you don't really need to.
Yeah, it's crazy. You, I mean, that's not even like a spoiler, but you actually don't even need to necessarily watch Deadpool 1 and 2 to watch this one. You can, like, it definitely would help, especially watching the second movie. But you can go into this one and still have a good time without seeing the other one.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good way to do a sequel, especially if you're doing like a crossover with Wolverine. It's a good way to do it.
I agree.
Yeah, and neither of you know who or like what the TVA is, and I think you still were able to get an idea.
I watch Loki.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't watch Loki. I didn't watch Captain America the Captain America TV show. I didn't watch any of the fucking. The only one that I've seen is WandaVision and She-Hulk. So I'm sorry.
Both of those as well.
Only ones that I've seen.
True.
This movie does the fourth wall breaking a hell of a lot better than She-Hulk. I'll tell you that. I don't even think you needed me to say that at all. Well, so we'll go ahead and get your opinion on it so far. What do you think? So I see it was a mistake asking you to come on to the show.
No, I'm kidding. I messed with it. The only critique I had would be how fast-paced everything was. I felt like it was bouncing around very fast.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it would have been nice to have a couple more like sentimental moments between Logan and Deadpool. You know, just throughout the movie. But other than that, smooth.
8 out of 10 too?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I would.
That's fair, that's fair.
I'm not as deep into the Marvel Universe like that, and I'd be watching movies every now and then type shit, so can't really critique it like that, but...
Yeah, no, so I really liked it too. I definitely would say I'm teetering on a 7 and 8 now that I had like a day to do it, but I'll probably give it a 7 out of 10. And that's still like a really solid movie. It's really fun. I think the jokes land a lot more in this one than the second one. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Really great banter between Logan and Deadpool as well. Like they play off each other really well because it's like the really stoic straight man who has anger issues versus like the goofball who doesn't take anything serious. So like they play off each other really well. They seem like a nice comedy duo essentially, and it is kind of like a little buddy cop movie almost, and I like that. I do like that aspect of it. But I will say, I guess my only critique is really the pacing. I think the movie could use honestly 10 more minutes to flesh out the villain as well. The villain
that's
sucks.
another great
The villains,
I had. Both
like they had cool moments. Don't get me wrong, but it felt like they needed a little bit more, I guess, motivation for their backstory, their actual reason for why they're doing the bad guy stuff in general, because it's kind of just like, I'm a bad guy.
Well, see,
like, okay.
It's like that is one part where it's kind of like you do need a little bit of comic book history in your brain to know, and you need to know the lore of like how she even came to be.
I mean, as a person who likes comics, I like comics. I'm definitely more DC than Marvel, but I feel like you shouldn't have to do your own research to enjoy a film, you know? But I believe that it's the movie's responsibility as its own thing set by itself. It's not connected to the comics, right? You shouldn't have to read background stories of all these characters to get attached to them, to get a feel of them, to know what their motivations are in a movie that's completely separate, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, it's the movie's responsibility to actually say, hey, this is what the villain's motives are in the end goal that they want. This is why they're evil. This is why they're relatable, you know? And, I don't know, it's just, I guess, coming off watching The Boys, seeing Homelander and stuff, like, that's a really good fucking villain. And then you get this one, and I get it, that's not their whole main point. You know, I mean, this is probably as good as they could have done with how the pacing was in this one, because it's mostly focusing on Wolverine and Deadpool, which, I mean, I'd rather it focus on those two than any other characters. But it definitely felt like every other character got, like, their time to shine, except for the villains.
And I thought, I forgot his name, but the actor who did play Mr. Paradox, did it well. Like Mr. Paradox in the comics is pretty cool. But
music was funny.
Music.
Music is funny, and you don't gotta worry about it being like, I guess, Disney-fied. There's a lot of violence. I mean, they kind of just get away with that straight up from the get-go. They're just saying like, hey, this is a Deadpool movie, nothing's really changing. And they do make a lot of good jokes referring to Disney as well. So it's a lot of cool stuff. And I will say, without spoilers too, the cameos and the Easter eggs and stuff, they don't come at the expense of the story. Like
they push the story forward.
Yes, and that is such a big positive. Like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, hell, even fucking Endgame. Like there's so many movies where I think the multiverse wasn't really handled as well, or I think it just felt like, oh, they're just throwing out for fan service and this does nothing to the story. You could cut this bit out and nothing will change. But in this movie, it actually...
You need them.
You need it. You need the moments for the story, whether it's, hell, even for like the jokes and stuff. It's like, oh, this kind of pushes the story a little bit forward because they're going to different dimensions or they're bringing different characters in, right? And it works. It works really well. It doesn't feel like overbearing. It doesn't feel like they're overstepping the multiverse stuff, which I fucking hate now. I don't like the multiverse because it's just so overdone. It's completely overplayed with everything that's going on right now. But this movie shows that you can do it right and you can have a lot of fun with it, and it doesn't have to be completely overstaying its welcome. So that's what I'd say. That's a very big compliment I can give to this movie. Yep. So in the end, I recommend it. Watch it. I mean, if you're probably watching this video, you probably watched it already. Yeah. Hopefully.
So we can say spoilers.
Oh yeah, now we can go to
so basically, you know, Deadpool is given a choice of either being a hero and living in the 616 universe, the main MCU timeline, and working alongside people like the Avengers.
Why is it the 616? Didn't they just say it's Earth 1999?
Yeah.
So why is it 616 again?
Don't know. I don't know.
Wasn't that like a whole like thing?
Yes. Yes.
That they fucked up? Because 616 is like the main comic continuity that's been rebooted like 3 fucking times. Okay, alright, good to know.
But yeah, he gets the chance to go into 616 or perish.
Yeah.
Yeah, perish along his
timeline. His universe is dying essentially. I guess that has something to do with Loki, right?
No,
the Loki series.
Logan did that.
Well, but like, isn't like that the thing that the TVA used to do? Is they used to
prune timelines.
Yeah, so like immediate.
Yeah,
and that's what the villain Paradox was complaining about.
No, they didn't do it immediately. They would take time and do it. Paradox wanted it fast.
Yeah, but isn't it? He was mad because they changed it from the past way. He's like, we used to do stuff way more efficient. Now they changed it.
Yeah.
So he wants it back to the way it used to be, where they just snapped it immediately.
Like, they're gone type.
So they just the Fox timeline is dying. Which I will say, I'm really confused about this. Like I was confused from the beginning. So did he use the TVA time thing to go back in time to his own universe, which is the universe that I'm assuming Logan's also in, and then he digs up Logan, but Logan's dead. But if it's at that point in the future where Logan's been dead there for years, or hell, even like a month or two.
But this also means that Deadpool takes place in the Fox universe.
Yeah, so Deadpool should be dead. Yeah. Colossus should be dead.
Yeah.
All of them should be dead if that's the case. If he didn't go to a different universe, but did he go back in time to a different?
Because that was my thought process too. Is that I was like, okay, so they're saying all the Deadpool movies take place in that Fox X-Men universe. Because the Logan died. And fucking his universe was dying because of it.
Yeah, because Logan was such an important character that the whole universe is dying because of that sole reason. But if that's the fact, I'm confused. Yeah. Like, because then why didn't he just go back in time a little bit to get that same Logan?
Right.
Instead of just going to different timelines in general. He could have just done the same Logan.
He could have done that.
Yeah, so like that moment kind of took me out immediately. I was like, I know the film's goofy and stuff, but I was like, this still doesn't make sense. Like, even with Deadpool trying to, I guess, quote unquote, fix it, or with all this time travel shit, the Fox universe makes no sense. It makes no sense. Yeah. Timeline wise, like, hell,
it's also like the way that they explain it a little bit in Loki is like bringing something like would cause incursion, right? So if you were to take a past like that Logan that had died and brought him to the future from the past, then it would count as an incursion and still destroy the universe.
How come that didn't happen in Endgame?
Because they don't give a fuck.
Okay. This is why I hate time travel. You set rules and then you're like, fuck the rules. Let's do something else.
If for some reason I'm wrong about that, then let me know in the comments and I'll delete your profile on YouTube.
You're getting banned from the channel. Yeah, but that's what it started. It starts out with a really cool segment too, because it was funny a couple years back when Logan came out, people made like a little edit where Deadpool starts digging Logan's grave and he's like, no, we gotta do the crossover. But someone made a fan edit of that, and that's what happens in this movie in the beginning. He digs it out, and it's cool because you see the adamantium skeleton.
It's fucking awesome. because he beats the shit out of TVA cops with his adamantium skeleton.
The best bit was when he stabs someone in the balls and stabs someone in the ass. Like tearing back and forth. They're like, ah!
Dude, the fucking katana bounce was nuts.
That was insane.
That was cool.
The entire theater gasped at that shit. I was like, yo.
That was fucking crazy. But yeah, and then there was all the Deadpool, or not, well, we'll get into Deadpool variants, but the Wolverine variants were
those are
pretty some deep cuts. Some deep cuts on those.
I almost got what I wanted. I wanted Hulk versus Wolverine.
Yeah, you almost got it.
All I wanted.
You almost got it.
And we briefly got it. We got such a tiny fucking snippet of it. Because I remember seeing the costume, I was like, okay.
That's the whole.
And then like during the woods, like usually Hulk's in the woods fighting fucking Logan. But yeah, Logan's always in the woods, whatever. And then he's like, oh, that's the costume you fought like Hulk in. I was like, oh, here we go. Even like, and then he's like, you just see the back of Hulk, and then he like slaps Deadpool out of the way, and that's it. And I was like, fuck! It's like, dude, Marvel hates Hulk. I don't know why they hate Hulk so much. They fucking hate him. It sucks, dude.
But, yeah,
but it's not his movie, so I'm not mad about that. That's not a flaw against the movie. It's still cool to see it. Yeah, so like Deadpool's going across the multiverse trying to find a Logan variant that he can take back and be like, hey, it's okay, so now we got Logan, you can save my universe. And
did you have a favorite? A favorite Wolverine?
Did I have a favorite Wolverine?
Variant? Yeah.
Probably Henry Cavill's. I can't lie. I never liked that casting, but I mean, I saw it and I was like, you know, I can kind of see it a little bit. Because he's got that deep voice, and obviously Henry Cavill's like built like a fucking unit. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah, he turned around, I was like, oh wow. And he's like, the cavalry! It's like, we'll treat you so much better than those guys across the street. DC doesn't know what the hell they're doing either. They had a lot of jabs at DC in this one, which was funny.
Yeah, and then they did
comic accurate.
Comic accurate, yeah. It was actually well, I mean, he was shorter than 5'3" for sure. But Wolverine's like 5'3" in the comics, and like Hugh Jackman is like 6 foot something.
He's like 6'2" or 3. Yeah.
He's so short in the comics.
Because he's like a feral animal, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that funny? No one like expects that. Yeah, he's like short as hell in the comics.
Fast and agile.
Okay.
Forgot the name of the comic run, but it was Apocalypse something version of Wolverine.
Where he's in like the leather.
Yeah, and he has like the giant like fucking hair.
I wish he did have like the fluffy X-Men Wolverine hair.
So that was pretty cool. We also got a really deep cut. It was like an old like, I want to say a solo Wolverine comic where he's fucking nailed on the cross. Yeah, that was a comic cover way back in the day where
like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You go from Henry Cavill to oh, and I like how he just leaves him. He's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry.
We're going in a different direction, man.
But that's what we were talking about, where like the cameos and the Easter eggs serve the purpose of the story.
Yeah.
You can have those and they're fun, but it's like, oh, that also makes sense. He's looking through all these different universes. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. I will say though, I wish they dove more into that Logan's backstory.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, because the scene of him walking through, I guess, all those gravestones or something in that cornfield was really cool.
I thought they were gonna show like little fast like snippets of what actually happened.
Nothing. You didn't really get nothing. I guess you can kind of piece it together. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like at least one flashback would have been cool or something. Yeah. But in this one, they really don't elaborate. But I'm assuming humanity took out the mutants.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said. He said humanity went mutant hunting.
Yeah.
And then by the time that he made it back to what we assume is the X-Mansion, all the X-Men were dead, and he was at the bar getting drunk. So that's he felt like it was on him. So, you know, he wasn't a part of the battle. Yeah. And instead he was just drunk at the bar.
And then he went and killed everybody.
Yeah, and then he went on a killing spree.
Yeah.
So
I think they should have just dove more into that.
I wish they did.
I agree.
I wish they did.
No, that was a little underplayed, especially for it being a Wolverine movie too. Yeah. You know, I mean, Deadpool gets his little bit with his girlfriend and stuff, and getting back together with her because I guess they broke up off screen. That was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wolverine doesn't really get much in here. Doesn't really get much to work with, at least for his backstory and stuff. And I did like the campfire moment with him and X-23. Yeah. X-23 is a really cool character, but aside from that, you really don't get too much with him. So I think that's a big complaint that I have, is that it doesn't really feel like they did much with his backstory. And I guess you can piece it together and stuff. And it's the way like I assumed that it was the Sentinels is because you see the Sentinel leg when they're at the void area, and he's able to like to click apart, and he knows how to work it, and then they fly away. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So so he finds this Logan, he finds this Wolverine, brings him back to Paradox. He's like, all right, I got Wolverine, so you can fix this shit, right? And he's like, nope.
Sorry, man. They're dead still.
Why is one person so important that a universe collapses? That seems like a big...
That is a brand new thing that they have brought into the Marvel universe now.
So how come the MCU isn't collapsing if Iron Man's dead? Or Thanos?
Maybe they're not the anchor.
Or maybe they have a few thousand years, actually.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. They
do
mentioned
have a lot
that
of
as well.
time, but I mean, we don't know who the anchor is. In our head, it would be, you know, Thanos or Iron Man.
Yeah.
But for all we know, it could be fucking Captain Marvel or...
Oh, it's Kang. You know, the great villain Kang. He's the Conqueror. Yep.
That we'll never see again.
Yep, he's never getting
again.
addressed ever again. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I guess we can kind of talk about the cameos now, the cool ones.
Yeah, because we were going through spoilers and stuff.
Peter.
Did you have a favorite one?
Oh yeah, it's Peter. It's Peter. I really like...
My favorite was Blade.
Oh yeah, mine was Blade, 100%. I love Blade 1 and 2 are some of my favorite, like, just movies, action movies in general. Like they're so fun. No, we don't talk about Blade 3 at all. And it's funny because Ryan Reynolds was in Blade 3, as well, he's in Blade Trinity, and Wesley Snipes like hated him.
He
hated him. So I think that they made like a little joke where Wesley Snipes like, yeah, I never liked Deadpool's, and he's like, yeah, I know, because he's right. They hated each other, I guess. So I'm really surprised they got Wesley Snipes back here. Also, because Wesley Snipes is a very controversial man himself. He just does interesting shit.
Yeah.
I guess to say the least. But he is Blade. He's Blade. I don't think anyone can replace him. Even though Marshall Ali is a really good fucking actor.
That was a really good little joke that they did. He was like, I'm Blade and there's only gonna be one Blade, and then Deadpool looks at the camera and he's like,
that movie's in development hell. That movie's never coming out. I guarantee you it's never coming out. And if it is, it's coming out in the next 2 years.
They did just talk about it at Comic-Con.
Oh, what they say is like, oh, we're still making this.
They did confirm that it is the next rated R Marvel movie.
Oh,
epic.
fucking stupid. Yeah, of course. Because after Deadpool's making so much goddamn money, they saw the potential. Well, at least that's good. That's good.
It is rated R. So.
Okay, I'm excited for that. Yeah, but seeing Blade was really cool. Hell, even like they had Jennifer Garner's Elektra. They had Chris Evans' Johnny
Storm. That's like a hot like number 2 for me, bro. It was just cool. It was cool to see. I grew up, you know, watching Fantastic Four, and it was like when he first came on screen, I was like, because I heard his voice, and I was like, oh, like clearly that's Chris Evans.
Well, because they also were like every white man's dream.
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, Chris Evans.
Yeah. And then you know, he comes down I'm like, yeah, woo, Cap's back, and he's like, flame on! And I was like, oh my god! It was really cool to see, and then it was really sad to see his skin get ripped off.
Dude, that shit made me laugh so hard. Because I was like, I knew he was gonna die as soon as Deadpool started saying stuff. I was like, okay, guys, Chris Evans is dead. I didn't know he was gonna get his skin sucked off. I was like, how powerful is this bitch?
Yeah.
She was able to just suck off his skin immediately and he dies. And I'm just like, why didn't she just kill him? She's gone! Like, what?
Yeah.
She's in constant creative mode.
Yep.
Gone.
Yeah. So, it's, but it was cool. It was cool seeing him. And
his terrible Brooklyn accent, bro. This movie's just filled with terrible accents.
Yeah,
We'll get to the other one later. A lot of good stuff. So yeah, we had Blade, we had Elektra. They mentioned Punisher and Daredevil.
Yeah,
I was pretty sad we didn't get to see one of the Punishers.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see any
cool.
of them. Because there's like, what, 6 or 7 of them? There's been so many throughout the years.
Yeah.
Damn.
But, who else? Yeah, they mentioned Ben Affleck's Daredevil, but he died, I guess, in the Resistance.
He's done.
Who else? Oh yeah, that's right.
The one
Sacre bleu. Dude, we finally got Channing Tatum as Gambit. It finally happened.
So cool to see. When he first came on screen, it was like, I think his headpiece is CG. It looked bad.
I think it's because he's just too big. Gambit's like a skinny, ratty looking guy.
Yeah. And it looked weird, okay? But it was still cool seeing Channing Tatum in the role of Gambit as it was supposed to be for many, many years, and we just never got it. But it was cool to see that, you know, even despite the terrible accent.
I wonder if they did it on purpose.
I feel like that's a Channing Tatum thing to do.
Well, Deadpool also like hinted at it as well. He's like, "Who's your dialect coach?" Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's like, "What's your dialect coach?" A bunch of minions.
Yeah.
Very funny. But it actually was cool seeing him, and he actually uses his powers a lot
and it's fucking cool. Yeah,
he blows people up. Cool. He has his staff and everything.
I do wish we got to see a little bit more of the villain X-Men that were teamed up with fucking Emma Corrin's character. I keep forgetting her name, Cassandra Nova. But like you saw Azazel, you got to see Juggernaut.
You got to see Toad.
Yeah, you get to see Toad. He fucking dies.
Dude, he has one of the most brutal deaths I've seen.
Yeah,
It just splits him into a billion pieces. It was great.
Yeah, I do think it would have been pretty cool to see them have at least some speaking lines, you know.
Sabretooth was there too.
Oh, dude, I called the Sabretooth thing. I knew it.
Yeah, you did call it.
I called it because I remember seeing in like the teaser and stuff him fighting Sabretooth, and I was like, oh, they're probably gonna kill him instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but they're gonna kill him like instantly, and then he cuts off his head, and I was like, oh, there he goes, there he goes. Because I love Sabretooth. Sabretooth's such a cool villain. Even though I think the movie version's kind of shitty. I like the one from Origins. I think for what's his name, Rob something. Whoa. What was that?
But yeah, and we got to see a different version of Psylocke, who was played by Olivia Munn in Apocalypse.
I don't think it was her though on this one.
No, it wasn't Olivia Munn. It was
yeah.
a different actress. But pretty cool to see them, especially Azazel. I always liked Azazel. He was cool. He can just teleport. He looks like a little fucking devil.
How did he die?
I don't think they showed. I don't think they
You
showed.
don't think that?
He can fucking teleport.
Yeah,
how do you die?
That's on him. Why didn't he just teleport, grab Deadpool, teleport, jump over a cliff, teleport, teleport back?
I don't know, man.
Whoa.
Oh no. Wow.
Oh god. Yeah, it's definitely a movie where if you pay attention, look at the background, like the Mario movie. If you just like look around and stuff, it's fun. Like it's already an entertaining movie, but you get more out of it if you are like a fan of it, or at least you look in the background like, oh, look at that little attention to detail. Like in the first shot where they finally fall into the void, they get sent to the void by what's his name, Paradox, right? Deadpool's on the ground, and if you look to the right side of his side, so I guess our left is a comic that says Secret Wars, so it's just like a little teaser for the next Avengers movie coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I will say there were some moments the green screens looked a little wonky. Like you just look at them, you're like, they're definitely just in a fucking studio, you know. And then I think that's something that the first two Deadpools honestly did a lot better. Is that they look better, at least like because they shoot on location a lot more.
I agree.
You know, and then in this one you can tell it's MCU because it's just studio after studio.
Yeah.
With Wolverine in particular, it looked a little weird when he had his mask on. Almost like they had to do some CG to his chin. So it looked a little off, but it didn't look bad. Like it was still clearly Wolverine and still clearly Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
So
I did like the mask. At first I was like, ooh. I was like, you know, I didn't hate it, but I thought, oh man, the one that they teased in the Wolverine looked a lot better. I was like, some of the fan edits I've seen look a lot better. A lot of cosplays, and I think it just needed a more mean-looking cowl to it, like almost like he's like frowning instead of just a blank stare. And I think they should have made the white eyes a little smaller and have like a black ring around them, because they do the same thing the Deadpool eyes do, and they emote and they can express, and I like that. Maybe they should have put like some black on the sides right here, and I think it would have been better if he had the shoulder pads as well. You know, because he lost his shoulder pads and they're just torn. So, but it was still really cool. It was finally satisfying to see it in there. And you do get to see him with the mask on and his shirt off.
Seeing the blue and yellow suit is it's great, man. It's good.
But that's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
he's so fucking hot. I will say I did want to see the Deadpool cast more, like the original Deadpool
cast. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Did what's his name even have a speaking line? The taxi driver.
Yeah, Dopinder.
Yeah.
He spoke more than Colossus.
Really?
I think Colossus had one line. I was really sad about that. I love Colossus.
Yeah.
They finally do him justice.
Yukio spoke more than fucking Vanessa.
I mean, it would have been cool to see them go in the void to rescue them, but I guess that would have taken away from there. So it's hard to balance all that. So I understand it doesn't take away from the film, I think, overall. But man, I would have liked to see them a lot more.
Where do you guys think Deadpool goes from here?
Oh, from here? Okay, well, I'm assuming the studio's gonna be like, okay, make another one. They're gonna want them to make another one.
They'll do a Deadpool.
I don't think they will. I think they'll wait, because this one took, what, 6 years? 5 years after the last one?
2018.
Yeah, so it's been a minute. Where they take him from here, I think his next appearance will be in one of the Avengers movies. I don't think he's gonna have a movie in between this.
Thor.
Oh yeah, Thor just
crying.
I like how they just took the scene from Dark World and
just put Deadpool in there.
That's also really funny to me is when I see clips from movies thrown in the movies and they're acted like it's recorded. You know, because it's just like clearly just shots from the movies and they're just in the screen back. I'm like,
from it.
You know, you couldn't just.
Yeah, they had the Age of
scenes?
Ultron scene and a bunch of old Cap scenes. So pretty good
It was
stuff.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where they take him from here. I would like to see Wolverine again. I'm assuming we're going to see him in Secret Wars. That's what I'm going to assume we're going to see Wolverine again. I don't think Hugh Jackman's going to be done after this. The problem is he's just getting old.
Yeah.
This dude's getting old. So they don't have
that
much
Till You're
time
90
left.
joke was funny.
Yeah, you know damn well they're
He's like, till you're 90. Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, I'd still be watching.
Yeah, I'll fucking
In a wheelchair, shaking everybody.
His kills were pretty brutal, and I was happy about
This is
it.
the most Wolverine has been.
Yeah.
He was like more animalistic. Like
Yeah.
I like how his stance was always
It
the
was
same,
always the wide-
right?
yeah, the
and then
wide
he like
stance.
he runs and he's like the
Yeah.
animal, and I was like, yeah. Like, he
You know,
fights
and then-
like Wolverine.
And then when they're killing all the Deadpools, you know, it was just the constant like in like one of them. It's just one. He's just.
There was one scene that made me laugh. There's a Deadpool like in the bus, and then like Wolverine hops in. He's like, He looks at the camera, and he does nothing. He does nothing. He's just like, This gets killed.
So here was my thing. Like my theory is, I think that's just a bunch of cosplayers that they got.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I think it's a bunch of cosplayers, like fans, you know, and they're just like, hey, sit there and be scared because they're gonna kill your ass.
Dude, I would pay money to do
Yeah,
that. I wouldn't even
fuck
accept
yeah.
money. Like,
It was
all right, we'll
fucking
give you
cool.
about $400 at a free lunch. I'm like, no.
I don't think
Let me give you $2,000 and actually you can just take all the food that I have.
Yeah.
Here's my house, here's my keys, here's my kids. All of them. I want to get killed by Hugh Jackman.
So I thought, well, yeah, them running through the bus and killing all them was fucking cool.
That's what was funny.
The CG shot of them jumping out of the bus, I wasn't
was-
a fan of.
Oh, I thought that was hard.
I thought it looked like ass.
It looked bad, but it was hard.
It was cool.
The only,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think the only thing that looked bad is like something about his arms.
Yeah,
they,
it was
it
his
just
arms.
looked,
Yeah,
they looked like
They're
noodly.
like round.
Yeah, it like his pose wasn't right.
Yeah, it didn't look good, but it was cool as fuck.
Yeah,
You
the
got what I'm
concept, the
saying?
idea is
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the execution was a little eh.
I was like, damn, bro, you could damn, you blew the budget on Channing Tatum, bro. You couldn't give us a good shot of them jumping together.
Do you think the Deadpool variants are back in their like original places now?
Yeah, honestly,
Or back
I
in
don't
the
think
void,
so.
I
I think
guess.
they'll just because I mean, there's so many TVA agents that they can just fucking all teleport in there at once and just.
Sure. Because they didn't show them going back at all, so I'm
Yeah,
like,
no.
are they just running around the city?
Well, it's the same
like-
thing with all the Fox characters too. It's like
Yeah.
because at the end he's like, "Oh, can you help these guys
Bring
out?
them,
Like
yeah.
bring them back to their worlds or something." So maybe we'll see them in Secret Wars. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, Secret Wars is looking to be a fucking crazy one, you know.
Yeah.
So especially with new Captain America coming out, I'm excited.
I'm not watching that.
Wow.
Because Captain America's black.
No,
That's what.
no, this is bullshit. I don't care.
Man, you're not gonna watch Fantastic Four.
No.
Fuck.
I mean, if you bring it up to me, I mean, like I'll watch it. But there's never like if you don't watch it, I'm never
Oh,
gonna see
okay,
it.
yeah.
It would have to be on you
Yeah, I
at that
assume
point.
that.
I wasn't gonna see Love and Thunder,
Yeah.
and then you're like, let's watch Love and Thunder, and I was like, well, fuck you, Ethan. Now I watched Love and Thunder.
I regret that so bad. I regret it.
That was actually one of the worst movies I've seen in my entire life.
So fucking.
I think I laughed at 2 jokes.
Yeah.
2 jokes.
Really bad fucking movie, you know.
God, dude.
L Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel's been pretty rough. It's been pretty rough. And I think it definitely is just, it feels so, I don't want to say corporate-y, but it feels like how the boys portray all the bot. It just feels like how bots like, all right, let me have this spin-off movie. More. Yeah, just keep throwing out more shit.
Yeah, but now they're doing more shit. You know?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
Now it's
fucking
hypocrisy.
topic.
It's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny how it works, right?
So,
But I don't know, like, I don't really care too much for all the other Marvel projects. I guess that's just more of a me thing. I got my fill. I mean, I would have been fine if it just completely stopped at their Endgame. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's a fun run. I'll watch these movies every once in a while. And I'm like, oh yeah, Eternals.
I didn't watch that one.
No. Don't. I'm just kidding. I heard it's okay. It's just there. You didn't watch Morbius?
I'm not counting Madam Web and Morbius.
Well, guess what? Spoilers for Morbius, in case you care. Vulture was in that movie.
Yes, I know. That.
So are they gonna set something up? What's going on with that?
No. I think Morbius. I think that whole movie's fucking retcon. I think that post-credit scene with Vulture is gone. I don't think they fucking care. Yep.
Sony is so stupid. Sony's so brain dead. Who was the person like, Madam Web. Let's make a Madam Web
Who
movie.
the fuck? Do you, like, that's a deep cut in itself, is even knowing who the fuck that character is, bruh.
They even used one of his bigger villains, Kraven the Hunter, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know who the hell he is, let alone Madam Web.
Exactly, bruh.
And don't even get me started on the Venom movies. I think all those are dog shit. I think every last one of them. I'll die on that hill. I know some people like the first one. Yeah. I know people should not like the second one.
The second one was shit.
I don't have high hopes for the third one.
Not at all. I think it's gonna be terrible. What'd you say to me?
Well, aren't they bringing the Spider-Man?
No.
The trailer that they released literally separates them even further.
How?
Remember that piece of Venom that like stayed in the universe?
They sent someone to go fucking catch it.
And they caught it.
It's gone.
Yep.
It's not in the MCU anymore.
Where did it show that?
In the trailer.
That they grabbed it?
Yeah.
What the okay, never mind.
Yeah, everything they set up, it's for nothing.
Never mind. That's dumb. No.
And it's gonna be even stupider now if they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there was another piece of symbiote that survived.
Just so you know, yeah.
And it's like, then why'd you show them capturing another fucking symbiote?
God damn.
Shit.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Mm-hmm. It'll be bad.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Peter, guys.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I did think that was a little lazy towards the end. Like that's how they ended their battles because Peter comes up out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, you also have to think about it though. How are they beating that though?
They could throw a whole building on them and it crushes all of them.
I guess.
Like I guess they could technically survive that, but
that
they
would
just be like
by time.
Like trying to regenerate, but there's a building.
They
on
had
them.
to get down there super fast, so I don't think they could have done that.
Yeah, I think it just buy time. Like they just find a way to buy time.
Yeah.
No.
Considering they all regenerate except one.
What was it? Nice pool.
Yeah. Nice pool.
You know, gorgeous Ryan Reynolds, long hair.
I like how they like de-aged him.
Yeah.
They spend CGI budget to de-age him a little bit, and he just looks at the camera and is like, Van Wilder.
Yeah.
Or whatever. The proposal?
Yeah, the proposal. Yeah.
The proposal.
He was like, I can lightly tap the fourth wall too. And he just looks at me. The proposal. But his suit was interesting. I'm not sure how much
It's
of a
like
fan
glossy.
I am of the gloss, yeah. But I don't know, it looked cool, I guess. And he had gold deagles, that was sick.
That was pretty cool.
You know, and I like how Deadpool wanted them the whole time. He got them and then threw them away immediately.
Yeah.
He emptied the clips and threw them away.
He killed him.
Yeah.
He killed him.
He fucking killed him.
He killed multiple innocent people in this movie.
Yeah.
I do like Peter. Peter's a funny dude. He's very wholesome, except for like I always like the scene. He's like, he's like playing with the chain and stuff. I was like, what the hell?
The guy was like, what happened? He's like, that's the best part. That shit was funny. A lot of really good jokes in this movie.
Yeah. But I guess if people have already made it to this part of the video, they've probably already seen the whole thing, unless they just spoiled it. Imagine like getting the movie spoiled by us.
Yeah.
We started talking about like the movie in chronological order, and then we're like, yeah. So then, instantly cut to different bits. Oh man. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. Check it out. Good movie.
Yeah. Awesome.
Bye.